Good afternoon, beautiful people. Happy Wednesday. We have 3 stories for you today. First, a major political upset in Texas where a rising Democrat just defeated one of the party's loudest, emphasis on loudest, progressive voices in a high-stakes Senate primary. Second, a heated fight in Washington over funding the Department of Homeland Security, happening at the same time that the United States is dealing with a military conflict with Iran. And third, a viral video where employees at a Smoothie King refused to serve a customer simply because he was wearing a Trump hoodie. Are we really becoming the country where politics determines everything, even who gets served a smoothie? Let's talk about it. Welcome to Nelly Miranda.
She's the new star of the Democrat Party, Jasmine Crockett. They're in big trouble.
But you have this woman, Crockett. She's a very low IQ person.
I watched her speak the other day. She's definitely a low IQ person. Crockett. Oh, man. Oh, man.
Somebody said the other day she's one of the leaders of the party. I said, you got to be kidding.
Now they're going to rely on Crockett. Crockett's going to bring them back.
As always, please make sure you like, share, and subscribe to support the channel. Okay, so in one of the most watched primaries of the year, Texas State Representative James Talarico defeated Congresswoman Jasmine Crockett in the Democratic primary for U.S. Senate. This particular race was a big deal because Jasmine Crockett had become a progressive media star, known for viral moments in Congress and a very, very confrontational style of politics. But voters ultimately chose a very different kind of candidate.
Let's start with that Texas Senate race that attracted so much attention and money. On the Democratic side, James Talarico defeated Congresswoman Jasmine Crockett in that hotly contested primary. In a victory speech, Talarico said he was going to take back Texas.
This movement is about whether the people will hold the power in this state and in this country. We launched this underdog campaign 6 months ago in my hometown of Round Rock, Texas. And since then, tens of thousands of Texans have shown up to rally with us in every corner of the state.
All right, Jasmine Crockett, meantime, cited voting issues in Dallas and said that, in her words, people have been disenfranchised.
James Talarico is a former public school teacher and a seminary student who has tried to present himself as a more moderate, faith-focused Democrat who can appeal to independents. And according to early results, he won the primary with about 53% of the vote, defeating Crockett and avoiding a runoff. What's interesting about this is that the loudest voices often dominated the conversation. You know, the viral moments, the confrontation, the social media politics. But this particular race suggested that voters might be asking different questions. It's not about who can go viral. It's about who can actually win. Jasmine Crockett has lost and is now suing, claiming that voters were disenfranchised. Going back last night, and I think it's because she already knew that she lost. But there are 2 takeaways here, though. The Democratic Party might be trying to rebrand itself in competitive states, and voters may be pushing back against the most extreme voices on either side. Because in this race, many Democrats acknowledge that electability was the central issue, especially in Texas, where the Democratic Party hadn't won a statewide race in decades.
That's my news, is that we're not going to have election results tonight, in my opinion, based upon what specifically is taking place in Dallas County. Unfortunately, this is what Republicans like to do. And so they specifically targeted Dallas County, and I think we all know why.
There you have it. It is the Republicans' fault that she lost. All in all, people are tired of dramatic performative politics. It's exhausting. Jasmine Crockett said she called Talarico to congratulate him on winning the nomination, and she said that she will remain involved to boost the party in November. She said, quote, "Texas is primed to turn blue, and we must remain united because this is bigger than any one person. This is about the future of all 30 million Texans and getting America back on track. With the primary behind us, Democrats must rally around our nominees and win. I am committed to doing my part and will continue working to elect Democrats up and down the ballot. Well, there you have it. Now let's move on to Washington, because right now Congress is in the middle of a heated fight over funding the Department of Homeland Security. And unfortunately, it is bad timing because the debate is happening while the United States is dealing with escalating tensions and military conflict involving Iran. Republicans have been pushing Democrats to approve funding for DHS, arguing that during a time of international instability, the country's main security agency should not be operating without full funding. But House Democratic leader Hakeem Jeffries rejected the Republican proposal, accusing the administration of rushing into military action and arguing that Congress should focus on oversight and war powers authority.
On the campaign trail, Donald Trump and Republicans promised not to get the American people into endless, failed, foreign, forever wars. And yet Donald Trump has just gotten America into an endless war that he acknowledges and plans to be endless, as was the case earlier today. And we've already tragically lost the lives of 6 American service members because Donald Trump, without justification and without coming to Congress, has gotten America into a Middle Eastern war that we know will not end well, based on what we've already seen in Afghanistan, in Iraq, and for that matter, in Vietnam as well. Donald Trump and Republicans have consistently lied to the American people over and over and over again on matters related to both domestic and foreign policy. These extremists have been a complete and total disaster. They have consistently failed the American people, and Democrats are here to offer a better path forward.
Now, that is true. Donald Trump did promise no wars, but here we are. Hakeem Jeffries ended by saying that the Democrats are here to offer a better path forward. Get out of here. No, you guys are not. We are ruled by a higher power, and therefore, if we had a Democrat as a president and war was on the table, to war we'd be going. Since we're already in this war, I think it is best that we fund DHS and our military properly. I am no expert on this, but I do not think now is the time for political theater or debates on this issue. Republicans say if tensions with Iran are rising, this is exactly the moment to strengthen Homeland Security. And then Democrats argue that the priority should be oversight and preventing the United States from entering another long war. And I think it is an important stance. But again, I don't think America's national security agencies should become a bargaining chip in political negotiations.
As Americans learned today that the war in Iran could last at least another month, Congress is now preparing to try and limit the president's use of military power. The Senate could vote as soon as tomorrow on the War Powers Resolution, which would limit the use of military force in Iran without congressional approval. The resolution, though, faces an uphill battle in the GOP-led Senate. President Trump would likely veto it if it made it to his desk. And just a short time ago, I spoke with Senator Chris Coons from Delaware, who serves on the Foreign Relations Committee. He said the president has overstepped his authority. Senator Coons says Congress should have been included and the administration should have made a case for military action.
I don't think this is the right way for a democracy to go to war. I am clear that the Ayatollah Khamenei and the Islamic Revolutionary Republic has been a terrible, terrorist, murderous regime that has the blood of many Americans on its hands. But that doesn't mean that I'm willing to step aside and support President Trump starting whatever war he wants without first consulting America's Congress and the American people.
Action News reached out to other senators from our area. Senator Lisa Blunt Rochester from Delaware responded that she will vote yes on the resolution and posted this tweet saying the decision to go to war is a monumental and grave one that should be made with the consent of Congress and a clear plan. Senator Andy Kim from New Jersey called for an immediate vote and said over the weekend that Congress needs to approve any military action under the Constitution. U.S. Senator Dave McCormick of Pennsylvania tweeted yesterday that the president acted within his constitutional authority, saying now is not a time for, quote, political theater. And over the weekend, U.S. Senator John Fetterman of Pennsylvania said he's a, quote, hard no on voting for that resolution.
I'm open to a better opportunity for more peace and prosperity for the Iranian people, for more security that Israel deserves. So that's a point. And this was not an illegal war based on terms of what the War Powers Act is.
Do you support the war in Iran? Why or why not? Let me know in the comments. Okay, now this next story sounds stupid, but it actually says a lot about where we are culturally. A video went viral showing 2 employees at a Smoothie King in Michigan refusing to serve a customer because he was wearing a hoodie with President Trump's name on it. The couple said that they were simply trying to order smoothies, but the employees told them they felt uncomfortable serving someone wearing the pro-Trump clothing.
Viral video showed them allegedly refusing service to a couple because one of them is wearing a Trump hoodie.
We were just wanting a smoothie and you literally looked at us and I asked you if everything was okay. You said we don't feel comfortable serving you because of my husband's hoodie. Yes. That is discrimination.
Okay, well have a great day.
That is illegal.
So here's what happened at this Ann Arbor Smoothie King. The 2 workers are out of jobs after refusing to serve Erica and her husband Jake of Dearborn Heights. Jake is wearing a hoodie with President Trump's name on it. The workers said they did not feel comfortable in this encounter, and the couple says they were clearly discriminated against, so much so a GoFundMe page was set up, created to help them fight their legal case that they believe they had. Here's another look at that video.
Hey, you know that's a crime, right?
It's not.
Discrimination is a crime.
We have the right to refuse service here, and that's what we
Not due to political views, though.
Well, after the video went viral, the company investigated and both employees were terminated, with Smoothie King stating that they plan on retraining all employees.
Now, Smoothie King's corporate office posted a statement on its social media that says, in part, quote, the franchise owner has taken immediate action and the 2 employees involved are no longer with the business. Both the franchise owner and Smoothie King corporate have reached out to the guests several times to apologize and will continue to follow up. The local owner is also taking further action and enforcing mandatory retraining for all employees that outlines our guest experience standards.
Yeah, I think they deserve to be fired. If it was their private business, do your thing. You are entitled to serve who you want to serve at your business. But you are an employee at someone else's business and you're making a financial decision on their behalf. You would be stupid to refuse business for someone wearing something that you don't like if it was your personal business. But in someone else's business, yeah, you gotta go because it is clear that you lack basic professionalism. So what do you guys think? Can we disagree politically without letting politics dominate every single aspect of our lives? Let me know in the comments. And by the way, if you would like to support our show further, please head over to our website. We have merch that reflect the conversations we are having here. The designs are clean, simple, and intentional. And if you'd like to wear something that makes a statement, please go to nellymiranda.com and order some merch. And a sincere thank you to all of you who have ordered so far. But as always, thank you all for watching. Please make sure you like, share, and subscribe to support the channel and ring the bell so you are notified when I post. See you next time.